Hi everybody, this is Paul with Orlando Bonsai TV, and today we're going to talk about either receiving or giving a gift of a bonsai tree for the holidays or for birthdays or for any other occasion, get well soon or anything like that. I just want to kind of go over the pros and cons of these and discuss how to keep these things alive and what to do if your tree starts looking sickly, or if it starts to drop its leaves, or if you have any other concerns about keeping this thing alive. Most of the emails I get this time of the year are based upon this. I received a tree and it's looking yellow. I don't know what to do. Do I keep it outside? How often do I water? And that type of kind of general care information. And so I went out and bought one today. I've never owned a tree that was purchased in a home improvement store or from a Walmart or anything like that. So I went out and bought one today. Just to give you an example. There are several types that they'll sell. I really wouldn't recommend these, but I'll kind of go over this. This one, of course, I just purchased right now. So here it is, all its glory. And as you can see, it's pretty much in the pot. I mean, these trees are not developed for long time growth. They're not trying to really develop a bonsai tree per se. They're just trying to make a little bit of money. Now, I'm not trying to ruin any industry. I'm certainly not trying to destroy somebody's income or anything like that. But I just want to let you know what you're getting into when you purchase one of these. This is the type of bonsai that the people that do bonsai don't really consider an actual bonsai tree, even though it meets the criteria of a tree in a tray. So I just want to kind of go over this because most likely you're going to get the same thing if you do buy this thing or if you received one. And most of the time you'll find that the stones are actually glued into the pot. And I'm going to take this out of the pot today, kind of show you what's in here, and again show you what kind of issues you're going to deal with. This one is some sort of ficus. I'm guessing a Ficus benjamina. This really is probably, if you are going to get this type of tree, is probably the best chance of it surviving. They don't need a whole lot of light. They can be grown indoors. They don't like a whole lot of water, but they don't like to dry out either. And it's a pretty forgiving tree. So if you do miss some waterings, it's not going to totally kill this thing. Whereas some of the other ones you'll get are a juniper, which is the kind from Karate Kid. That kind of it's a shrub for the most part, or a ground cover. But you'll see them as bonsai. It's kind of the traditional thought of what a bonsai looks like in America. Those trees are meant for outside. They are not an indoor plant whatsoever. Most of the time, by the time you get them, they might even be already dead because it takes a while for the leaves to actually turn colors, from either to a yellow or a brown. So actually, when you might be taking it home, that tree might be already on its way out. And there's nothing that says "I love you" or "get well soon," like giving somebody a plant that they're going to slowly watch die in front of their eyes. So I really wouldn't recommend that kind of thing for anybody that's going to keep that plant indoors, especially on a TV or anywhere where it's going to get warm. And in the wintertime, the air conditioning or the heating just dries the house out so badly that the tree's not really going to have a chance to retain water. So in lieu of a bonsai, I would recommend, first of all, if it's just somebody that wants to get a plant, buy them a house plant. Buy them some sort of ivy or some sort of fern that's low maintenance, will really be pretty in their house, or get them some sort of easier type of tree. But giving somebody a responsibility of trying to take care of a plant like this without any knowledge, and really if they didn't even ask for it, don't bother, because it's probably one of the, in my view, one of the worst things you could do for both the plant and for the new owner. There's a lot of other things that you could purchase instead of doing something like this. Additionally, if you do know somebody that's starting into bonsai that wants to try this hobby, for the price of this tree, you could buy a nice book. You can get them a gift certificate. You can buy some bonsai tools, some bonsai pots. Bonsai pots don't die, so that's a nice gift to get for somebody that's in bonsai. And plus, they're going to need it. You can never have too many bonsai pots. It's always nice to swap your trees into different pots to see how they look, and give yourself a lot of different options. So let me get started on this thing. This is a nice plastic pot, and as you can see, it's not even attached to the pot. This is how this tree was grown. And what this is just a plant that was chopped off at the top and left in the nursery soil. And then they just glued some rocks on for effect. Now we know in bonsai that these stones are actually the type of soil that you want to put a bonsai in, because they have proper draining or proper drainage. But in the fact that they did right here, they left it in the potting soil and just put this hard, crusty bit of rocks on top. So what do? You can see that the health of this tree is not that bad, but it's a lot of like lighter color leaves. These aren't new leaves actually coming in that are causing the light color. This is just nutrient deficient plants. It looks like they haven't been very well taken care of where they were just at the home improvement store. And again, it's getting so leggy, it's actually not even looking like a bonsai at this point. It just looks like a shrub or a hedge. And in time, this thing's going to turn into a big plume, and it'll just be something you should put in your office or something like that. But if you do get one of these and you do want to care for it, the first thing you want to do is rake out these roots, take it out, take all this stuff off, just break it off completely. And get it down to the bare roots. And then what you want to do is you want to get this plant into some nice bonsai soil that gives it good drainage. It's unbelievable that this is what this stuff actually is. It is literally glued on top of this plant, right over the roots. There's no care for this plant whatsoever. This is just all decoration, and whoever's selling these is only doing this just to make money, and doesn't really care if you have a tree in the future or not. So I would strongly recommend avoiding these types of things. Unbelievable. Yeah, I don't have a pair of shears with me, but I'll clean that up later on. So there it is. Not really a bonsai anymore, not really a bonsai ever, but there is potential for this tree. But if you do get one, the best thing to do is keep it outdoors in the wintertime, because if you are getting this around the holidays, if it's this type of plant, you're going to want to keep it protected under 35 degrees, any type of ficus like this. If it's a juniper, you're going to want to kind of keep it somewhat protected, but it's a cold hardy plant, so it'll be able to handle the colder temperatures. You can put it in unheated garage. You do want to get it a lot of sunlight, so on those really, really cold nights, you might want to protect it. You can also take the tree itself and protect it with a bunch of mulch around the roots to keep them warmer, but the rest of the tree is just going to just go dormant until springtime and then put out new growth. Watering, if it's in something like this is a nursery mix which holds a lot of water. You could probably water it once every 3 days or to a week, depending on where you keep it, especially during the wintertime. The thing about the ficus or any type of tropical, you want these to grow all winter long. You don't want these roots to ever slow down. This tree is not going to go dormant. We work on these trees in the summertime, so in the wintertime what you're going to do is just kind of keep the tree growing, fertilized, and in maybe a sunny window. You can either get a grow light on this as well, which will help the plant survive during the winter months. But on the ficus, what you want to do is you want to work on letting the tree go dormant, and make sure you don't fertilize. And those trees don't like to be wet at all. And make sure they do remain outside, but water them very infrequently. Really, all you're going to do is slip your finger down into the soil, and if it's still damp, you don't need to water. If it's dry, then you do need to water. But that's probably going to happen every 3 to 4 days with the juniper. Junipers also get spider mites, so the leaves might start to brown up a little bit. If that's the case, you can just rinse it with soapy water. The soap's not going to hurt the roots, and it'll get rid of all the spider mites. Or just hit it with the sprayer in your sink. Just kind of hit it with a forceful water or a garden hose, and that'll wash the spider mites off. But again, you're just going to let that tree go dormant, and in springtime, as it starts to grow out a little bit, just as it's about to turn spring, you can do a repot and get it out of this soil and put it into a nice bonsai mix to give it proper drainage and get that tree much more healthy and give it a really good chance of growing. But again, if you're thinking about buying this for a plant or a gift for somebody, I would strongly suggest you not. Just because it puts them in a bad position. Of course, they're not going to want to tell you that thank you for that gift you gave me, but it died in a couple days. Nobody wants to hear that. And plus, the responsibility you're putting onto somebody to take care of a tree is something that if they didn't ask for it, they certainly don't want that responsibility. Get them some cut flowers, get them a nice house plant, get them something that they can enjoy without putting a whole lot of effort into. But I really hope that helps you. I hope you guys have a great holiday season. And if you have any questions, you can always reach me by responding back to this email. Make sure you subscribe. Have a great year. Bye.